Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Rachel Williams begins now.
The $100 million for the Tranche 3 irrigation scheme is in addition to $70 million already committed by the state government.
Having guaranteed water on our farms is just massive. It allows people to invest, looking for the future.
Shorten also said he is open to working alongside the state Liberal government to pursue Tasmania's bid for an AFL licence.
If you want the AFL to get serious, you need a friend in Canberra to make sure they get serious about Tassie football.
A high-powered task force is currently devising a pathway to a standalone Tasmanian team. A RISDON VALE pizza shop was the target of a terrifying armed robbery last night, with a man demanding cash while brandishing a knife. Staff have been forced to close since the incident, with some workers too afraid to return to work. The man responsible remains on the run.
Just after 9 last night, a worker here at DINO'S Pizza was outside when he was threatened by a masked man.
Approached him with a knife, I think, forced him back into the store, demanded cash.
The staff member followed directions, handing over cash and mobile phones and disconnecting the internet.
2 shop phones for some reason, he took the handsets, I suppose all to stop us calling police.
The man fled and tonight remains on the run. The workers weren't physically injured, but both were too shaken to speak on camera.
She was fairly upset. They're both pretty upset still today.
Police today combing the scene for any evidence. Onlookers saying they're shocked it happened in their area.
But yeah, it's pretty good other than what happened last night.
It's the second incident at DINO'S pizza chain in 2 years, with the Claremont store the subject of an arson attack in 2017.
This is more of an isolated, random event. I think the actual arson attack was more targeted.
The shop will be closed for the rest of the weekend, which Tim says is particularly disappointing, seeing as the start of the AFL season was expected to bring in a large amount of customers.
Hopefully we'll be up and back and running next week and pumping the pizzas out.
Anyone with information can contact Crime Stoppers. Louise, HEDGER, 7 Tasmania News.
Tasmania's surf lifesavers have a new eye in the sky with the deployment of new drone technology. It can be used to spot rips, patrol the surf and track down distressed swimmers using a special heat-sensing camera.
Take off for new technology to help our surf lifesavers. A specialised drone heading out above the breaking waves at Clifton Beach to track down a distressed swimmer.
This is the WESTPAC rescue drone. Please wave if you require assistance.
The operator on shore has a live view of the situation. Using a speaker on the drone, he can reassure the swimmer.
Remain calm, surf lifesavers are on the way.
This is the first drone that we've used in surf lifesaving in Tasmania, so it's opened up a whole new way that we can search the water, obviously from above. It gives us more eyes and a quicker response time.
Where the human eye has a standard view of the beach, the WESTPAC rescue drone has a specialised camera. Thermal imaging able to pinpoint a warm person in contrast with the cold water.
So using the heat signature, it will show the water is blue, obviously it's cold, and then we can really pinpoint like a red hot zone if we've got a patient or something in the water.
At the beach, it can help with rescues, patrols and spotting hazards like rips. It can also be deployed in emergencies.
Whenever there's a major incident on, like the floods in 2016, we responded to those, so we'll be taking the drone up and for those sorts of incidents when we're responding to any of that or any marine issues that happen on the water as well.
In the future, they're hoping to fit it with a releasable flotation device that can be dropped to people in distress. Michael Breen, 7 Tasmania News.
Dinosaur experts from across Australia are gathering in Hobart this weekend for a symposium on the ancient creatures. The event, held at the University of Tasmania, is aiming to educate people on Australian dinosaur discoveries, recent research and to discuss evolution theories.
Really had a resurgence of interest in dinosaurs. A lot of that's been driven by amazing discoveries in China, but also some of the discoveries we've been making around Australia, like the dinosaur tracks in Winton in Queensland.
I'd love to be a paleontologist, and also I don't know much about Australian dinosaurs.
The event continues tomorrow with the morning session open to the general public. A one-of-a-kind concept car has made a rare trip across Bass Strait for tomorrow's Devonport Motor Show. The 50-year-old Holden, which was futuristic in its day, headlines a collection of 600 dream machines.
With its opulent orange shine and bonnet full of technology well beyond its years, this is how Holden saw the future in 1969.
Digital instrumentation, it had sat-nav, it had all the automatic raising and lowering and the reversing cameras and all those things you expected in a car by the time we got to the late 90s, so it was way ahead of its time.
The Hurricane concept car rarely leaves the General Motors Holden showroom. Never designed for mass production, this is the only one ever made. And you can feel its power at tomorrow's Devonport Motor Show, along with dozens of Porsches, this year's feature vehicle.
Porsche's very reliable, has a rock-solid reputation for being able to deliver all the time.
More than 600 vehicles of all makes and models will be on display on Devonport's foreshore. The annual showcase raises money for local charities.
There's stuff for all the family.
Tom Johnson, 7 Tasmania News. Tasmania has been blown apart by New South Wales in its final day of Sheffield Shield action for the season. The Tigers were bowled out for just 120 runs as Sean Abbott obliterated our batting order, taking 7 for 45. The only positive was Matthew Wade, who became just the 4th man in 10 years to pass 1,000 runs in a Shield season. He finished on 65 for the day, with Tasmania falling short by 149 runs. The Blues will now play Victoria in the Shield final on Thursday. And Westbury is in control at the NTCA ground after day 2 of the Cricket North final. Dane Anderson scored a century for the Shamrocks, who finished today's play on 8 for 384 after bowling out reigning Premier South Launceston for just 134 yesterday. The final concludes tomorrow.
23 degrees today in Hobart. Launceston had a top of 20 with 19 in Devonport. Around the state, King Island had the state's top with 27, 23 for Fingal, Friendly Beaches and also Campania, 21 at Cressy, 20 for Scottsdale and Smithton with 19 for Lowhead and 18 degrees at Wynyard, 16 for Lyweenie. High cloud covers Tasmania today for most parts. Further out, severe tropical cyclone Trevor is making landfall southwest of the Gulf, with widespread thunderstorm activity. Severe tropical cyclone Veronica lies near Pilbara, streaming clouds southeasterly, some low cloud over southwestern WA. Tomorrow a strong cold front approaches the state. A surface trough dominates inland areas and the high pressure ridge continues to push into WA. Northwest to southwesterly winds 10 to 20 knots, winds increasing 20 to 30 about the south and the west, with the seas mostly between 1 and 2 metres. And there's a gale warning current for western coastal waters for northerly winds, a strong wind warning for south-western coastal waters and a small craft wind alert for the Central Lakes. 21 in Hobart tomorrow with showers, 23 at Richmond, ooze 22 and showers there. 23 with late showers in Launceston, 20 for Devonport and Deloraine. 20 degrees also in Burnie and Curry, showers increasing with 18 for Strawn and 23 for St Helens and Swansea, 22 degrees at Whitemark. And the UV remains high around Tasmania. Monday expected to bring rain for most parts of Tasmania, more frequent about the north and the west with thunderstorms expected early on. Showers for most parts on Tuesday, more likely in the west, the south and the Bass Strait Islands, but mainly fine conditions expected on Wednesday. Looking around Australia, 27 and sunny for Perth, wet conditions for most other major centres, 25 in Adelaide, 27 for Canberra, 30 degrees for Cairns, 27 in Melbourne, cloudy in Sydney, 30 degrees with 34 and sunny in Brisbane. Mostly cloudy conditions at the moment, 21 in Hobart and Launceston, 19 for Devonport. Back to you, Rach.
Wonderful, thank you for that, Sam. Well, before we leave you tonight, mechanics in southern Russia have remodelled an old Soviet car so that it can roll upside down when in motion. Video posted online shows the white car rolling upside down, then going back on its wheels and driving on. The new model SUV has been given all kinds of unique names, including the Tumbler and the Flipper. And I'm sure my children would love one of those. Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening. Good night.